Hello everyone, you're very welcome to our presentation on embedding partnership in student research development to effect system change. My name is Aimee Brennan, I'm the coordinator and founder of the STER Partnership Project, and I'm joined today by my colleague Ciara Reilly, who is a lecturer in digital technology and a staff volunteer with the STER project. Today we're going to talk to you about how taking or embedding a partnership approach within your field can help students to develop the ability to evaluate and improve their own work and the work of others. Our complete poster is available to view within the QQI online repository, and it's also available on the STER website. You're very welcome to read through it, and if you'd like to hear more about the STER project or the research that we're undertaking, please feel free to contact me at aimee.brennan@mie.ie or steer.ireland@gmail.com. So before Ciara begins talking about the principles of the partnership approach that are embedded within the project, I think it's important to provide a little bit more context. So STER stands for the Student Teacher Educational Research Project, and it was established initially as a student staff partnership project in 2017. So we work with student teachers and education students from undergraduate to master's level, and we help them to publish and share their dissertation research. We accept dissertations from all sectors, provided the topic is relevant to education. And under the STER umbrella, we now host an annual conference, a podcast series, and we publish a peer-reviewed journal each year. So the project was initially established to bridge the gap between research and teaching. It's been well documented that teachers and student teachers perceive educational research to be far removed from their work and their practice in the classroom, and yet research has become a core part of all education programmes. So the students I was working with often commented that they were undertaking research as part of their programme that was not tangibly linked to their practice and was unlikely to be seen by anyone other than their examiner. So it was clear that a deeper understanding of the connection between research and practice and more sharing with peers was needed. So over the last 5 years, we have supported as a project over 100 students from universities and colleges across the country, and they've shared their research very much in a spirit of collegiality and learning. So each year, a core team of staff and students are recruited and they're trained, and then we work in partnership to coordinate all elements of the project. Volunteers provide ongoing support to participants, they review journal articles, they chair conference sessions, and they participate in evaluating and enhancing the project. So it's part of that evaluation that we want to share with you today.
Thanks, Aimee. I'll continue on. So to look at the aims of the STER partnership approach, we want to provide student teachers with an opportunity to share their research findings with their peers, teachers and teacher educators. We want to create a positive, research-rich environment. We want to encourage mature appreciation for educational research and its role in the continuum of teacher education. We want all participants, both staff and students, to take equal responsibility for all tasks. Practically, how do we embed the partnership? Well, students and staff will self-select their area of interest. There are no incentives provided for staff or students. Training, information sessions and peer support will always be provided for staff and students, and this will scaffold their participation. Dialogue is valued and all participants will be invited to freely express their opinions. Finally then, all participants will then go on to contribute to evaluating and improving the project for the next group. Looking at the research then and the methodology chosen, here it was evaluation surveys with qualitative and quantitative questions, and these questions would have been sent to all members of the STER team and those who engaged with the project. Respondents were volunteers, authors and presenters, and the data that we will present to you today is from 15 students and 3 staff partners from the past 2 years. So all participants were either very satisfied or satisfied with support provided by the team. All participants also felt that STER was very successful in encouraging student-staff engagement. 93% of participants felt that it was very important that STER was student-led. And finally, all participants agreed strongly that students and staff should be equal partners in a partnership approach. So to look at the findings and some feedback that we got from participants, To begin with staff. For staff, working in a partnership meant, quote, ensuring that I do not take over or push my own agenda on what is best. Staff recognise their role to, quote, support and encourage and facilitate research skills, working from the strength of the student. Staff also said that they had to ensure that students had an opportunity to own their own role as students and learn to learn as well as lead. From a student point of view, the benefits of participation were clear. Quote, there are very few opportunities for students to share their research. I was grateful for the opportunity. And, quote, research was carefully analysed and feedback was clear and helpful. Working in a partnership was important to students. They said, quote, it gave me a sense of community because often research is quite a solitary experience. And they identified the, quote, importance of being in a research community for developing education practice as a teacher. However, it is important to note that students said that, quote, time commitments posed by assignments, exams, placement, etc. were a challenge. The key messages from our experience would be to provide training, information sessions and peer support, which are critical to ensuring that staff and students are appropriately supported in the partnership. That dialogue and continuous engagement would contribute to a sense of that community spirit being established. Key to partnership is recognising individual strengths. In STER, staff and students chose their area of interest. While we feel strongly that no incentives should be offered, participants did note that demands on their time impacted their ability to participate. Finally, in acknowledging challenges, we actually help to address them. For example, we know that students can be daunted by the very act of presenting their research. We know now that the academic year will always have pinch points on time, and also that the research group may not be attractive to all. We share our references here. And finally, we would encourage you to follow us via the STER website and all social media channels. And we hope that you enjoyed today's presentation.